my dude?
My dude,
Dude,
we're back.
Long time
after
no see.
a short hiatus. We've returned.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't been the most up to date on these episodes.
No.
But hey, end of the day, this is just for fun.
That's right.
The point is, we're back, we're strong, and we're here to kill another episode.
Whatever you say.
So guess what? Special episode today, because not only do we have matching drinks,
Dude,
we
look at
have what is this, a koozie? You said?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
that. Yeah.
What is it actually?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
You uncultured swine.
I learned something new today. Matching Springsteen koozies to celebrate our seeing Springsteen later this month, and matching brand of shirt. We're both wearing Pendleton. This was unplanned, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
I'm changing shirts after this now.
Yeah.
There's no.
Jarrett wears Pendleton religiously.
That's not true.
No, you do, bro.
I'm
Okay,
sorry they
no.
fit me.
I bet you can count on two hands how many Pendleton shirts you have. You have more than two. If you have more than two, you need to get more because you keep wearing the same two over and over again.
I have literally two.
All right, bro. Yeah, I think I have like one or two, but I actually haven't worn this one in a while, but just kind of worked out that way today.
Well, now I got to change it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we'll just start off, what's been new with us. We'll go over that.
Heck yeah.
New developments in Jack and Jarrett's life. So Jarrett, what's up? What's been going on?
New car coming in Thursday. 2 days. T-minus 2 days. We got the cashier's check for it. I'm super excited. I know we talked about it previously, but we wrapped the Scream film, and that's in queue to get edited now. And then, because I have a bunch of weddings and stuff to edit
For a
first.
second, when you said wrapped, I was like, I imagine like rapping. I don't know why you said, and then we wrapped, and I was like, when did we wrap?
Presents, Jack. Yeah, we're still waiting on an email from the acting school, Dayton and I. Weighed in this morning at like 150 what? 4?
You were 156, 157.
Dude, that means I'm like
156 and a half.
4 pounds away, and that was on an empty stomach too.
Well, and you hadn't weighed yourself in a couple months.
Yeah.
And I don't weigh myself every day. Like I try to. Like I like to try and wake up, go to the bathroom, take a piss, and then weigh myself like in just my underwear, so that I'm like my lowest possible weight.
You just had to describe it so vividly.
No, I mean no.
I'm kidding.
That's the best way to do it.
I know.
And I think last week I was 158.2, and I woke up this morning and I was 160.2. So like there's 2 pounds up just there. But we've both been gaining, we've both been bulking. I've been on a never-ending bulk since I started lifting.
Same.
Like 3 years ago.
Same.
But we were both shrimps. Like we were both super small.
Yep.
So I mean it just kind of made sense for me. Like I know like I put on a lot of muscle really fat too. Like when I first started, I gained like probably 10 or 15 pounds. I went from 130 to like 140, 145, maybe like even 150. And then I was super inconsistent for like a year, like really badly,
Yeah.
And I got kind of skinny fat. I'm still like I'm a little bit more fat down here than I'd like, but I'm getting a lot stronger again. I'm putting on more muscle, and I know you're about 160.
Almost.
So you can keep going with what you're doing, and
Yeah.
then I am just over 160. And I would like to get to 170. If I get to 175.
Well, you said we're both going to cut in February, right?
Yeah, February I think is a good time because it gives us a couple months because we want to be about done with our cut and starting to maintain over the summer around May. So if we start in February, I think that's going to be I think I've never gone on a cut before. That's just kind of an estimate. I think that'll be good. But if I can get to 175 and get down to like a lean 160, 165, dude, I would be so happy.
Dude, what's
really
the update on the Jack Johnson pool at the Johnson house?
I don't think the Jack Johnson pool's been mentioned yet in this podcast.
Yeah, no. Motherfucker's getting a whole in-ground pool behind his house.
Yeah. Not my doing. It's my mom. But
thanks, Mom.
This has been thanks, Mom. Appreciate you. This has been her lifelong like dream. And so she's finally making it happen.
Good for her, man.
Seriously, dude. And hey, good for me too, right?
Yeah,
Good for all of us.
Good for me.
Because we get to go swimming now whenever we want.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, they're actually working on it today. They're at the house.
Oh, nice.
I guess they're working on the coping, which is basically like the decorative stones or like rocks around the edge.
Gotcha.
So they're cutting everything to size. They're I guess grouting it. I guess technically is what it would be.
Yeah.
And so really the big thing. I mean, it's all like it's mostly done. They need to. There's still the what do you call those metal like metal poles you put in to shape concrete?
Rebar.
Yeah, rebar.
Yeah.
So there's still the rebar in the pool. So they got to pull that out or cut it or whatever, and then they need to actually smooth out the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's done, we just have to order the lining. We'll cement around the pool.
Yeah.
And then we're putting a fence up, and then really it's just we got to fill the thing, like fill it with water.
Then we got to get the boys over there, man.
What's so funny is the pool's gonna be completely done, and it's gonna take like 3 or 4 days to fill it with water. So it's gonna be like this torture.
You're just like
watching the pool slowly fill up with water.
That's how it's gonna be when the car comes in, because I'm like at work, because I'm the first person that's gonna see it, and seeing it just sitting on the truck, and I'm like waiting for it to get down there, but then I know I can't like actually go sign the papers till like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and like because that's when we get slow, and there's really no point in me being there. Like, but anyway, back to the pool.
Oh yeah, the pool's gonna be super fun.
Dude, I'm so
I can't
excited.
wait. I'm gonna
Should
be
we
out
do
there.
a podcast pool episode?
Dude, honestly, we could. I mean,
everyone's doing hot tubs. Let's do a pool episode.
Yeah, we're not doing hot tubs.
No,
you can
we're
do
not.
hot tub.
No, I'm good, man.
Yeah. But I'm actually just as excited to tan out by the pool as I am to actually go swimming. Like I want to get dark.
Maturing is realizing his tanning is better than.
I want to get dark.
Bro, you want to get like SpongeBob and Patrick. Oh wait, you haven't seen the episode. Never
I
mind.
can't really.
For you cultured people that have seen it, it's when they get spray tan and they go into the bodybuilding competition.
Yeah. So I was not allowed to watch SpongeBob. There were lots of things I wasn't allowed to watch.
You're not the only person I know that wasn't allowed to.
No, it's common. It is common.
And I don't get why. Like,
just I was just our household.
Yeah.
It was just. I mean, yeah. So was there anything you weren't allowed to do when you were growing up?
I couldn't go past the end of the sidewalk when I was riding my bike because we had a cul-de-sac, and then like so this is the cul-de-sac. And
sure, me too. I wasn't allowed to go jump in the deep end when I was 7.
I mean, yeah,
but I mostly mean like movies, TV, games. Like, was there anything like you?
No, I mean I tried getting GTA 5 one day, and then the dude at the counter just had to fucking snitch and was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'd get this," and I was like, "Fuck you."
That's funny because I never had that experience.
Yeah,
because I was.
That's about the only thing I can think of.
I never tried to buy a M-rated game like when I was underage.
Yeah.
So like I never had that experience, and I can guarantee you GTA 5 would have not been allowed to be in our house.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff for me. Like I couldn't do Call of Duty. Really most M-rated games, and even when I was like well into my teens, like 13, 14, 15, even teen-rated games, like my parents would do this thing where they would I would tell them what game I wanted. And then they would take a few days to look into it, like talk about it. And then they would make a decision about whether or not I could get it. And we would sit down and they would tell me what their reasons were for why I can or can't get the game. And so that's the kind of house I grew up in.
I was going to say, it's very much a process.
Yeah. I didn't grow up in a super strict house. I mean, for a while, maybe I kind of did.
Yeah.
But as I got older, like it gradually got less and less strict.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Harry Potter, no Call of Duty. My parents hated Disney Channel. They didn't like the way the kids talked to the parents in the shows. I mean, yeah, just a lot of stuff.
That's crazy, man.
But
see, I didn't grow up with that. I was kind of free reign to a decent extent, you know. Like I couldn't just like, but like. Because I'm not an idiot. Like, my parents trust me, you know? Like, I'm not.
Sure.
So, there's a lot worse people than me.
I think in a lot of ways, look, my parents did a great job raising me. No question. I think in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, I think that kind of parenting can sometimes create resentment. And, like you, like.
I mean, it's sheltering, kind of.
Yeah, but in a way, it's like it kind of. Like you feel like that resentment like over the years of like, you know,
I mean, I get
like,
why, yeah,
feeling like held down and everything else, and all like I'm just gonna go ahead and say if my mom watches this, I'm sorry. There were a lot of things that I
love how we were just thanking your mom for the pool and now we're shitting.
She doesn't care.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of things that I wanted to do that I wasn't allowed to do that I found a way to do it.
Oh yeah,
and I think like restrictions like that. It doesn't really limit, like it doesn't keep your child from doing things you don't want them to do.
Exactly.
It just makes that, it turns them into someone who feels like they have to lie.
When you tell them no, that just makes them want to do it even more. Like,
and look, you're a kid, you're a teen, you're rebellious.
That's and you want to find out why they said no.
Yeah, like dude, I wanted to watch The Walking Dead so bad growing up. This is back in like 2012, 2013. Show was still really young, and it was the biggest thing. Everyone was talking about it, and no way in hell I could watch that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even have a phone. Like I wasn't allowed to have a phone. I had an iPod Touch, and I would literally
same.
and sometimes they wouldn't let me like have it at night, and so if I couldn't, like, I would go online and like not pirate. I would like find those websites where you could just watch stuff for free,
Like 123 movies.
yeah, stuff like that. But it was always really low quality and
Yeah.
it sucked. And like sometimes I would spend like 20 or 30 minutes just trying to find the best version of an episode, just so it didn't look like crap. But if I didn't have my iPod, I would sneak downstairs. We had a like one of those like Bluetooth speakers, but it's one where you could also like dock your phone on it. And my mom had an iPhone 4 at the time, and so what I would do is I would sneak downstairs. I would go into the kitchen, and sometimes there was like a 50% chance that she would have left her phone on it charging. I would grab her phone and go upstairs and watch it on her phone. The Walking Dead.
Did you ever have to hide your DS underneath the pillow? Whenever
A couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's just like almost a universal experience.
That's a staple.
Yeah,
Like,
for anyone.
yeah.
Dude, I was watching a TikTok about it was making a joke about that, and it was the whole thing. Like he was hiding his DS. Dude, the amount of comments. What's a DS? What is that? What is a DS? And I was like, okay. First of all, I'm not that old. Second of all, this is your fault for not knowing what a DS is. I can't imagine like not knowing that.
Dude, I went into the bank today to get that cashier's check, and they were talking about, they saw a TikTok where it's like when they ask for your social and they hand them their Instagram tag, and it was just like a bunch of face palms. Dude. And I was like, ooh.
I mean, yeah. Okay, here's a question for you, Jarrett.
Yeah.
Do you know how to write a check?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids our age, I mean, kids, we're kids. A lot of people our age don't know how to write a check. That's something I've learned.
I don't know how to write cursive.
Crazy.
I only know how to write my first name because Fairview taught us for 3 fucking days.
Really? You can't write cursive?
3 fucking days. Yes.
I'll be honest.
And doing those little booklets do not help. Like,
I was homeschooled for a couple of years. I was made to do cursive. When I was private school, they also made us do cursive.
I mean, I think it's a nice thing to have, but it's just...
There are definitely a couple letters that I wouldn't quite get right, I think, if I tried to start writing like complete sentences in cursive. But for the most part, I know how to write cursive. It's been a while, but...
Yeah. Anyway, today's big topic...
Yeah.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah, Barbenheimer. We did it.
We did it.
We went and did the Barbenheimer thing. Jarrett did not wear pink because he's a bitch.
I did.
What'd you wear that was pink?
It was that Hollister shirt where it went white, pink to red.
Okay, that barely counts.
Okay,
you and your
you walked in looking like a fucking salmon. Okay, I can't help I don't have my whole wardrobe
because I was
pink.
committed.
Well,
Listen,
okay,
you and your Neapolitan like red, pink, and white shirt was like halfway committed.
You know what?
Not even halfway.
I'm gonna be honest. I think most of us went mainly for Oppenheimer, but let me put it this way.
Equal.
Let me put it this way.
Equally excited for both.
I enjoyed Barbie more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance.
Barbie is funny.
It was great. It was much
really
better
funny.
humor than like MCU humor that has come out, or like, you know what I mean? Like in terms of like theater humor, it was better than what we've been receiving.
Yeah, no,
Like,
Barbie was a lot of fun. I really
yeah.
liked it. I knew it was gonna be kind of weird. I just didn't know like what kind of weird it was.
Well,
gonna
it
be.
wasn't a film targeted to us, so we went in. It's a weird experience. So I mean, we were.
I was the target demographic for Barbie.
I don't think so.
So I was.
Nope, I don't think so.
All right, well, you definitely weren't, but
No, but Ken made his way into my heart, so
yeah,
I'm Knuff.
Ryan Gosling, best part of the movie, easily.
Oh yeah,
I really wish we saw more of him. Like we got a lot of Ken. It's mostly Barbie's movie though.
I mean, yeah, and I like the ending, and I like some of the messages with it. I mean, I did come out of the movie feeling like shit for being a guy for no reason, and I was like, but I still thought the movie was good. Like,
yeah, the movie definitely has some strong things to say. But at the end of the day, for me, like I just really enjoyed like.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the art style.
Mm-hmm.
Like the art direction. Like it looks great. I mean, great. By the way, Barbie cost more to make than Oppenheimer did. Yeah. I want to say Barbie's budget was like 150 million, and Oppenheimer's only 100 million. But you can see where the money.
Really?
You can so you can see where the money went
Yeah.
in Barbie. It looks great.
Yeah.
I love musicals. I'm
Yeah,
always,
I was gonna say it was kind of a musical. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't like a full blown musical,
No.
but it has some really fun numbers, especially with Ken.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, that was so fun.
Dude.
I always get excited to go see a musical in in modern times, just because it's like a nice
Yeah.
refreshing different thing.
You know what I want, Jack?
Hmm.
I want a Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Mojo Dojo Casa House. I feel like there's a word missing.
Probably. That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
It's
dude.
a long saying of just different languages saying house.
Yeah, Mojo Dojo Casa House. That's so funny. Yeah, Ken was great. Ken was
Yeah.
awesome.
You know who
Um,
else was good was Simu Liu's Ken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was
It was
good.
pretty fun. There's a really fun. One of the best parts of the movie is when they fight.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a whole not really spoiling it, but there's a whole massive set piece moment, and they're all
Yeah.
stuff.
You know what I
flying
love
everywhere.
is whenever Ken gets rejected and he leaves the house doing the dance and you see him in the corner dancing away. That's what I mean. It's just funny shit.
Yeah.
Like-
I just like Ryan Gosling. I think he's such a good actor. And Margot Robbie was really good too.
literally, you can't cast anyone else as Barbie. She literally looks just like her.
Yeah, for sure. And she actually produced the movie too.
Yeah.
I
That's how she get. Yeah, she didn't have an audition or anything. She just got put in it, which makes sense. You just
But I mean, who else could play Barbie?
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, maybe if we racked our brains, we could think of someone else who could maybe do it.
I mean,
but
yeah, but
yeah, just really great casting, just fun movie. Definitely recommend. I might go see it again. My mom wants to go see it, so
yeah.
maybe this weekend we'll see. And then, and hey, we did Barbie first. That's
Yeah.
why we're talking about it
We
first.
did. I think that's the way to do it.
That is definitely the way to do it. And on social media, everywhere I kept seeing people were gonna go do Oppenheimer first.
No,
I mean,
no.
hey, more power to you if that's what you did or if that's what you want to do. But I just, that's
I
just
think ending it with
not the way to
Oppenheimer
do
is
it.
because imagine seeing Oppenheimer and then you can't even think after, and then you go and watch half-ass watch Barbie because you're still thinking about Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Like-
well, and Oppenheimer is it requires your full attention. It's very
I want to watch it again.
emotionally draining film.
Yeah.
Very dense film. It's a kind of film it ends and you're still thinking about it
Yeah.
for a while, trying to process what you just watched, and then you throw Barbie in the mix after that. I just feel like that's a weird
Yeah.
order to do it.
I think Oppenheimer. I need to watch it again. I want to go see it on the 70 mil, but I don't know if I have time. But
I'd like to as well. That'd be kind of cool.
but it's one of my favorite movies.
Ever.
Yeah.
Really.
Well,
So why-
one of my favorite movies, at least right now. It could potentially be one of my, because I just it. That is a well crafted film.
Oh yeah.
The score, the practicality, the cast is insane. Cillian Murphy knocked
This
it
is
out of the park.
definitely the best ensemble cast of the year.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I mean, just people kept popping up left and right.
The amount of awards this thing's gonna get, and well deserved, by the way.
It's gonna sweep the Oscars.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
should.
this last Oscars, I think. No. Oscars before last. I remember Dune had
Part 2 is gonna be good too.
the
I
most
can't wait for that, yeah.
nominations. I think Oppenheimer this year is gonna similarly, kind of, probably get the most awards. It's probably gonna win
Oh,
the
yeah.
most awards. It's gonna get the most nominations, deservedly so. But what do you think about the movie, just all in all?
I
just
loved
after-
it.
after
At
ended?
first, it was hard for me to focus on because it keeps flashing back between fission and fusion, and the two timelines, but they're in the same one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The back and forth story, and it's not a very linear movie at first. It cuts back with a lot of flashbacks with Oppenheimer in Europe, and
That's just Chris Nolan, though.
Oh yeah, I know,
I mean,
and I don't watch a ton of Nolan movies, so I had to get used to it while watching it. So
Sure.
the first quarter of the movie was hard for me to focus on, and I was trying not to I wasn't getting bored, but I was I really got to pay attention, and it got better as it went on. Once it
Well,
starts,
it throws you in.
yeah, once it gets a little linear and you understand, you're getting the story of Oppenheimer's point of view, and then Robert Downey Jr.'s character. Sorry, is it General Strauss? No, it's not General Strauss.
Louis Strauss.
Louis Strauss. Yeah, I didn't know what his terminology if it was doctor or whatever it was, but
Yeah, he was on the board
yeah,
of something.
Mhm.
I think he was on a board that was kind of helping guide and
the Manhattan Project.
yeah. But yeah, the movie really throws you right in. I remember, I mean, I think it had been playing for 10 or 15 minutes, and I turned over to Dayton, who also went with us. and I was like, dude, this is a crazy opening. 'Cause it threw you in. Like, it didn't just toss you in. It like,
No.
like you were in it like really quickly, and and everyone was talking about the music and how great the music is in the
Dude,
movie.
it was good.
And in the
it was
first
amazing.
like 5 minutes, they're playing like crazy stuff, like crazy music. I was loving it. I was just like, this is why I go to the theater. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm just so excited to be immersed in this.
What's the main title track they've been playing a lot? Is it Can You Feel the Music? Is that what it's called?
I believe that sounds right.
The
Ludwig Göransson. He did the
yes,
score.
dude, that song, holy crap! Like
Mhm.
the whole score. I want to see if I can find it on vinyl. I think that would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
And I want to get an
Be a great
Oppenheimer
listen.
poster. Like, it was awesome. And as someone who wants to become an actor, watching this was the perfect movie to watch if you are devoted to it. Because look at Cillian Murphy. It's his movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that
and
guy.
he like. Because he auditioned for Batman with Nolan, so he's been in a bunch of Nolan movies, and he finally got to put him in this leading role, and like, well deserved, because like he killed it.
He did. He was great.
That's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure he was just like in his own world trying to like working as hard as he can to get this role right, and that's something I want to learn how to do. And
Yeah.
like
Well, and I think this is kind of a special case because Nolan knew that it was going to be a big deal for Cillian, but they went for it. He said this. Nolan said like this movie is going to rest on your shoulders. And I watched a couple interviews with some of the other cast members, Matt Damon, RDJ, Emily Blunt, and I mean they all just said like, yeah, this was their project. I mean this was Nolan and Murphy's project, and everyone else on set, whether you were a part of the cast or the crew, was there to boost them up and help them create what they needed to create. And it definitely, I mean, Cillian was so good, man. I mean, I love that guy. I think he's such a like masterclass actor.
oh,
and I
sure.
think what was really cool about this, and this is something we've kind of talked about before, but he gave a very subtle performance.
Yeah,
Like it was in his eyes, it was in his gaze, it was
like the
it
moments
was-
when he had anxiety, you could feel it.
You really
Like-
could, and that's my favorite part of the movie. I think we'll get into that in a second.
I think I know what part we're talking about.
But yeah, he it wasn't that he like, because I think some people would watch that performance and go, yeah, he kind of phoned it in. He wasn't dramatic enough, and I just think people underestimate the power of a subtle performance. And that's what film is about. I mean, it's about the subtleties. You can capture those things up close. You can't capture on the stage or, wherever else. And I think a lot of times people associate great acting with big, bombastic, dramatic yelling, arguing scenes, like
Which, I mean, they are.
they can be. Sometimes I think
but,
people overdo it.
Like,
but,
that's personally what I like doing. But also being subtle and knowing that I can pick it up and that you'll notice it is also
Yeah.
really good to know. Because that's another good way of acting.
100%. Cillian did such a great job. This is going to be definitely a massive career changer for him.
Dude, yeah.
And people already knew he was a great actor. I mean, Peaky Blinders I haven't seen, but I know that's
I need
one
to watch
that
it still.
that's one. Honestly, seeing him in this has made me a lot more interested to watch Peaky Blinders because I mean I know it's great. He carries that show, but he just did so good. The entire cast was great.
Yeah.
And
Robert Downey Jr. did great too.
he was really good. He was really good. Definitely his best role. Maybe his best acting maybe I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah, he said it was like, I watched the interview with Nolan and Downey, and he was like, I know you're on top of the MCU right now and everything, but I want you to put your ego and your appraisal aside. Like, I want this to be just you working hard and acting well. Like, this isn't like
and he had to bring a lot because I think in a lot of ways, and RDJ even himself stated that he was kind of out of touch with his acting ability.
Oh yeah, because all he's been doing is fucking Iron Man.
Exactly.
Like, which I love the MCU, and he carried like Iron Man's the best part of it, but you got to change it up at some point.
Yeah,
Like,
he was great. I mean, the entire cast was really great. It just feels like every aspect of the movie, whether it's the cast or Cillian or the visuals or the music, like everything elevates everything else.
Yeah.
And it just creates.
This is an example of like, this is what filmmakers like at our stage and even higher are trying to achieve. When they think of peak film, this is what they're going to think of. Anything Nolan does is like, at least from what I've seen so far, is like peak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's my opinion. I just think
For sure.
like even the Batman movies, as good as they are, they even though they were a superhero movie, they felt different. They felt like films, not movies. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they weren't a theatrical experience. They were a film experience.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, just
so.
great film. And the anxiety piece we were talking about before. This movie is his perspective through and through. I think some people going into it weren't sure exactly like how much were they going to show after the war? Were they going to show how it affected the Japanese people? Were they going to show this? Were they going to show that? But really, no.
That's not what it was about.
It was all about him. It was all about, his experience in creating the bomb, and then also the fallout, no pun intended, of after the fact. Because what's really cool about this is it was kind of like a very dialogue heavy film.
Oh yeah, it's like 300 pages.
Yes, lots of talking, and really it's kind of like it's like a thriller kind of drama for the first hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then it becomes this tense like courtroom drama almost, essentially of what happened to him and what our country did to him after what he did.
Wouldn't give him a security clearance and he couldn't continue his work.
Yeah. And there's a really great scene where he is in front of this crowd of people after
in the gymnasium,
after the bomb has been dropped, and they're applauding him. They're so happy, and the anxiety just overtakes him. He starts seeing things that aren't there. It's such a powerful scene. I won't go into it too much. Yeah. Great movie. Definitely like one of the best of this year, no doubt.
Oh, for sure.
No doubt.
This is one of my top movies. I was excited for it, but I was going into it kind of blank. I knew it was about the Manhattan Project, but that's about it. And it's cool to see that like they're recognizing what happened to him, how he got kind of fucked over by the U.S. government, and that scene. Like, I'm gonna talk about it because the movie's been out.
Sure.
But the scene with Truman when he goes to the presidential office was eerie to me, at least, because you see the president. And he's like, he's got his glasses on. He looks at him after he says, "I got blood on my hands." And he just looks at him and waves a little. He's like, "Get this crybaby out of my office." It's like, that was our president. Like,
yeah,
turning down, or he like shitting on an American hero.
Well,
like,
and I think, and they go in.
And that was true, actually. That happened.
They kind of delve into communism. I mean, the Red Scare was a real thing. And communism, and there was a whole. We don't really have enough time to get into it.
This was before McCarthyism, but it was on the rise whenever.
And so I think he was basically saying like, hey, Russia is going to retaliate, and we need to be ready. Like they're going to be building up, they're going to be making stuff, and they're going to build up their army. And I think like any kind of even like a hint of like I don't want to say sympathizing with Russia, but any kind of even a hint of like
of understanding
you're involved with Russia at all. It was crazy. We do need to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit shorter of an episode today. We're on a time crunch.
So bit of a time crunch. We're gonna keep it to 30 minutes today, but next week we'll have a longer episode. We'll kind of go into more detail over our different topics. So we're back. We're better than ever, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
And thanks for watching. So, Dink.